Coming.
And we are here with our pre-WrestleMania Saturday episode of the Wrestling Roundtable podcast. Yes, it is WrestleMania week. We are a mere 48 hours as we record this from WrestleMania Saturday night, and there are parts of this weekend that I'm really looking forward to. And I'll leave it at that. As always, I'm Ryan Hall. Got my guy Dominique LaRue joining us. And Dom, it's a lot in the news. There's a lot in the news this week. A lot of people who are down, a lot of people who are kind of sideways about what's going on with WrestleMania, with all the celebrity involvement. But yeah, you mentioned something to me that you wanted to share just to kind of get people excited about what WrestleMania really means.
Yes. I've been thinking about this leading up to our episode tonight, and I just don't want to lose sight of what WWE is, what WrestleMania is. It's the show of all shows. It's the creme de la creme of wrestling. It is the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the World Series, if you may, of sports entertainment. And as you see my get up here, I got my Las Vegas shirt that I got when I was in Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas jail, of course. It was a joke. I was trying to scare my grandma with it. I got my shades on. I'm feeling real Pat McAfee tonight. You know what I mean? Do a whole show with sunglasses on inside. So you know we don't need to lose the fact that it is sports entertainment. Obviously, we have wrestling, we have, like the the action of it all, but the entertainment part of it, right? If you go back and think about like all the stuff the old man did with his shows, I mean, it was pretty worse than this, if you think about it.
Yep.
So, you know, as much as you and I gripe about the celebrities being involved and this and that, and I'm still kind of feel some type of way about that, but obviously this is the TK era, TKO era of it all right. So if it's any indication of what happened last year, this year hopefully is an upgrade because outside of all the involvement with celebrities or whatever, we have two main events that could possibly go right if they go the way we predicted it, but then also it could go left and it could go terribly wrong. And we could have a repeat of what we had last year. So, but I can say this though. If there's any hope that we will have a good show, think about this, right? Last year we had a great night one. Night two was a letdown, right? What if we get a letdown night two, but a big like surprise night? I mean, vice versa, basically. We get a big surprise night two.
Right.
Would that just for you? Would that justify it being there? Because like
Judging
my
by
brother always says, Miss McMahon, I always try to send people either in awe or happy when they go home. So
yeah, yeah. Um, that's a tricky question. That's a tricky question to answer because I think the biggest thing that the biggest thing that's coming up for me as you're saying that is that we just don't know. Like we don't know what's in the whims of Nick Khan and the board of directors at TKO. To say nothing of the writers' room. I mean, we just don't know. Um, we also know that ticket sales up until the last couple of weeks have been awful. We
really,
also
they had
know,
25% off. That didn't help.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
It's starting to pick up a little bit, but I still don't think they're going to be sold out either night.
It's so much going on. That's another thing that kind of ticks me off. You can go back to the scene of the crime necessarily, but when you think about it, it's so much going on in Las Vegas. It's not just like WrestleMania, right? So you
Yeah,
got people gambling, you got shows, you got different shows, celebrities in there doing music shows, or whatever. Obviously, the NFL is over with, but uh, and I mean, really, basketball is not that popular. But think about it, basketball may be coming to Las Vegas, so like
yeah,
doing it one year was fine, but going back and expecting differently just because you sprinkle some celebrities and stuff on it, it's just not. You can't take a pile of poop, right? Clean it up, make it nice. You know,
Dom, I can't hear you.
oh, can you hear me? I was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you now. I got you
yeah,
now.
I gotta be close. My bad. But you can't take poop, right? Clean it up, make it nice and neat. Put some sprinkles on top of it, and then you know, serve it to us and think it's chocolate, like chocolate cake. That's not going to happen. So why in God's green earth would you overload WrestleMania with celebrities? Just recently, Jay Uso just crashed out on Cameron on his podcast. Like, what are we doing? That is so left field to me because it's like we didn't get any indications of like Cameron saying anything outside until they come
Right.
on the pod. Like, yes, Jay has been having, I guess, some discrepancies with the IWC because he said something on his Instagram talking about Christopher Columbus discovered America. Like, y'all don't have anything else, something else to like talk about or learn or something other than like his love life or whatever. And I totally agree. Yes, he's with Jada Parker. Like, God bless him. Like, that's all I can say. God bless him. I wish I was him. But
Yeah, yeah,
at the same time, people grow up. People date people. Okay, it's so many folks in that realm of entertainment or just movies or sports or whatever. It's other people dating folks like that in that. So
yeah.
like, why are you so obsessed with this man's love life? Let that man breathe. I ain't never seen something like. I don't even think it was this bad with. Okay, maybe this bad with Triple H and Stephanie, but like they flipped that and turned it into a storyline. So
Right.
at the point where it just washed away. But like obviously they're never probably going to turn this into a storyline. But at the same time, like
God, I hope not.
you got half of the universe yeeting, and then half, or I ain't gonna finish that statement because I was about to be funny. But either way, just leave the man alone. Okay. It got
Yeah,
to a point now when it poured into them thinking like, all right, we're just gonna get Jade to crash out on camera, and now Cameron gonna come on and he gonna bring his fans. Like, oh my God, stop it. We don't need more celebrities.
and I get it's not that we don't need more celebrities, which we don't, but don't need more celebrities that don't have a thing to do with wrestling. Like Jelly Roll, I get. McAfee, I get. Even, our don't want to mention his name, but the guy who interrupted the main event last year, I get because his music was used
Are you talking about
and
TS?
used and used and used and used and used. Don't bring his name up, but like it's used and used over the course of that weekend until I wanted to throw something at my TV if I heard that song again. Um, they made sense. They've got a connection with wrestling. What you know, what this is like to me, what this is like to me is like the early days of WrestleMania, when you randomly had Cy Sperling, the Hair Club for Men guy, and Liberace, who was Liberace, but massive celebrity, didn't know a damn thing about wrestling. Um, Bob Uecker, who was more known for baseball, showing up in wrestling. It doesn't. How many times have we said it over the course of this calendar year? Make it make sense.
Yeah, like the celebrities that are being used outside of Pat McAfee, because I still don't know why he's being involved in a championship match of all, for God knows what. But
Pat, sit down at the commentary table where you belong. Stay out of storylines, my man.
you know my thought on that. That's why I feel like he should get involved. But if they don't do it, then that's a huge letdown. Um, I show speed. Why on God's green earth? Not only is he involved, but now he's in the match. And we should have known this was coming because his involvement with Royal Rumble, reports that Randy Orton was training with him. That's why we hadn't seen him in forever until, recent months when, he was getting ready for the Elimination Chamber or whatever. Uh, and it just the fact that he was involved with the Royal Rumble, we should have saw this. But at WrestleMania though, not Backlash, not something else that might need his fan base. WrestleMania alone don't need like a big streamer or whatever the case may be. It's WrestleMania. So, like, I don't even want to give it any more energy than we're already giving it,
Yeah,
but this is all I was thinking about this while I was at work today, right? WrestleMania is starting to become a publicity stunt. We're getting away from the product of WWE, and it's becoming more of a like, ooh, let's see how many celebrities we can who like wrestling that can come and show their face and get their fans who aren't wrestling fans, or maybe they are wrestling fans, but they just been gone for a while, so they can come and watch our product, and we can get ticket sales and blah blah blah, and you know throw as many Slim Jim commercials and ads and this that and the third in there, so we can get more bang for our buck.
you understand. You understand that the very first match on Saturday night is going to involve both Logan Paul and IShowSpeed, two internet celebrities.
One Twitch, one YouTube.
Yeah,
Now, granted, Logan Paul has earned, and I loosely say this,
yeah,
but he's earned the right to be called a WWE superstar. I will give him
he
that.
has. Yes.
But I Show Speed is no bigger than you and I. I Show Speed looks like a kid compared to those five other grown men. And what makes you think, and I swear on everything I love, Ryan, if the Vision pulls this win out, Jay ain't got to crash out on camera. I'm gonna crash out because it. I can't even fathom. I
Yeah,
cannot.
it's gonna turn into the round table after dark.
Basically, because it's crazy to me. Like this kid ain't been in the ring no longer than a few months, and like I'm so sick of division. I'm not even going. It's no cap. I've said this numerous times. Division is starting to be. It's starting to. It's like the Judgment Day is starting to decrease, starting to fade away, and then division is taking their place.
Yeah, the Vision could have been the next evolution.
Could have.
They could have been the next Four Horsemen. They could have been the next NWO. But they just look weak. I mean, yeah, they've had some awful injury luck, but they just look weak.
You know what this new vision remind me of?
What's that?
A-Town down under.
Oh, and guess who's in the Vision? Oh, Austin Theory. Yeah.
Austin Theory, thank you. Just shaved his
Yeah.
head
He shaved his head trying to look menacing, but yeah, it's not
and talking
happening.
about
Yeah.
what? What a fall from grace. I told we you and I discussed this. Once you put that label on him as a Vince McMahon guy, like that was Vince McMahon's guy,
hmm
he's finna try to push, like he finna push Austin Theory down our throats. Pause. That was the end of his career
Yeah.
because first of all, he's not Roman Reigns. Okay, let's just get that out there. So, what makes you think he was going to be anything bigger than a mid card at best?
I think Voldemort wanted him as the next John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, physically, I can see it. I totally
Yeah.
can see it. But charisma wise, no, no. Even before John really got the crowd like in his palm of his hands, he still had that it factor about him because
Totally.
as he always said, he was close to being fired, right? So he had to think
Yeah.
of something. So he was in the bus, and back in the day, it was big on rapping or whatever. So he started rapping. So that was already boom. Like, all right, I can get some with some type of crowd or some type of, you know, as all performers say, you got to have something that either has the fans pissed off at you or they're behind you. Austin Theory's in the middle where nobody cares. And it's terrible because like I was so happy that he came back. Like I was like, I know he, 'cause we've been asking like, is he injured? And what's going on with that? I hope he comes back, and I hope they do something with him, and they do something with him. And I'm thinking he's maybe helping Seth Rollins, but he's just got added to the division, and it's like, okay, well,
He's just there. He's just
he's
there.
just there, yes, there. This man could have went on and just started his singles career by himself, rebuild himself, be a babyface, and maybe you know work his way up to potentially being where Sami Zayn is at, which, we'll get to that in a minute. But,
Yeah.
it's just I would like for me to get with my brother here and just give our predictions. I'm not even going to
Yeah, let's not go let's not go down the rabbit hole here. But one thing I would like to add before we dig into the predictions is that this weekend, WrestleMania weekend, to me, when it connects, when it's right, it reminds me of why, despite the grief that I take of being almost 50-year-old wrestling fan, of being a multiple time author, of being a, outspoken proponent of men's mental health and all that stuff that I am, that I still love this, that I still get emotionally invested in it, that I still want to feel something for these men and women who go out and put their bodies on the line every day for our entertainment.
absolutely.
Um, just walking out there, like, I don't care how old I get. If I hear the Undertaker's gong, it gives me chills.
Or that glass break.
Or the glass break. Or, you know,
Smell.
yeah, I mean, just if you smell, I mean, make it like remind me of the magic. We know how the sausage is made, let's say.
Yeah,
But just get me back in touch again with the magic and the joy of, like reminding myself of when I was 10 years old and watching Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant. Like make me feel that excitement again. That's
absolutely.
all that I ask.
it reminds me. It's just like we said before. Like we had this discussion on the pod about like why you love wrestling. Why
Yeah,
don't y'all know it's scripted? Whatever. It just it's like watching a movie. It's like watching a TV show. We know behind the scenes how it's made. We know there's a camera in there first, moving around a certain way, try to catch angles, and this CGI, or this is whatever the case may be. This ain't a real Groot. This is not a real tree. It's CGI, but it's taking you away from what you're going through in life, or what's going on in the world. It's an outlet for us. Growing up as kids, that was something that we just enjoyed watching. And just now as an adult, even though we do know how the sausage is made, it's still real to us because it is real people doing this.
yeah,
There's no double takes, there's no resets. Once that TV is on, this is live. So anything goes. Yes, they have a script, but sometimes that script don't go to plan. So they have to adjust. And sometimes the slight adjustment makes something that looks like crap. That recently Triple H was on Cody Rhodes' pod, and he was like, some of these shows I be seeing, I was like, I don't know, this is gonna be crap, but he still books it anyway, right? Because it has that potential to be great, regardless of
yeah,
what we feel like it's going to be. Like you and I said this before, and I said it when we started. It could be terrible, or it has a potential to be awesome. And I'm ready to take that ride and see where we go with it. But at the same time, I mean, hey, we gonna let you know how we feel about it.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. And it's like one of my favorite Greg Allman quotes. And Greg Allman, a musician, famously had his problems, drug problems, divorces, all this stuff. But he was a guy who kept coming back to music time and time again because his mantra was that, yeah, I've got my problems, but I know if I sit down behind my piano and a microphone in front of, a couple hundred people to a few thousand people, those are a few thousand problems. I want to help them forget about their problems for a couple of hours. And that's exactly how I see wrestling. That's exactly how I see turning on a WrestleMania, forgetting about my problems on a Sunday, Saturday and Sunday night in April. It's not that deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're not going to hit on all 13 matches that have been planned. But I do want to touch on a few major ones that I think could end up being just really good or has the potential to kind of be really bad. I don't think there's no two ways around it. And the night one match I think I'm looking forward to the most is Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. Because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, when they did their unsanctioned match back at, was it Elimination Chamber?
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a
I think it was the night that John Cena turned heel, unquote.
yeah, it was
Um, but that was my favorite match of 2025. It was violent. It wasn't like gory, but it was definitely violent. Um, and it was just like, and also knowing the personal history between those two guys,
yeah,
it also, meant a lot to me that they would, willingly go out and just absolutely tear each other from pillar to post for 25 minutes or whatever it was to entertain us. And also knowing that Kevin Owens was dealing with such a neck problem at the time. But
right.
I think that match has the potential to absolutely steal both nights. I really do.
I totally agree, and I love the way like how you describe things. because it always ties back to what we even said earlier or said like in the previous episode or whatever. One thing about this particular match is, in order to make a great match, you have to have a story behind it, right? How the sausage is made, basically. And that's why we'll get to it, but that's why we're so confused on the Pat McAfee's side of why he's involved in that storyline. When you have a great storyline as far as two men that just despise each other, and it Jacob wasn't even around, and Drew has beef with him because of the fact that he has beef with the bloodline. So anybody associated with the bloodline, he has beef with. Then on top of that, this man cost Drew, like basically Drew cost him an opportunity at the title. He cost Drew the opportunity at retaining the title, whatever the case may be. So obviously that's another part of the puzzle that's in the storyline. And then that episode, what, 3 weeks ago, when they just beat the holy crap out of each other for 3 straight hours. Every single part of that arena they was at, they was either throwing each other through something, beating each other in the head, or just literally falling off a building together. But that reminds me of an old school attitude era rivalry. Like, think about all the great ones. Mick Foley and Edge, Triple H and Mick Foley, Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero, like Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, Stone Cold and The Rock, Stone Cold and Triple H. Like, it's so many rivalries that we've seen where guys are just beating the holy crap out of each other until they get to WrestleMania or whatever PLE it is. I'm I'm invested in this match. I'm really
I am
invested
too.
because
Yeah,
like
I am too.
not
Yeah,
only physically have they been going at it, but Drew, Drew's petty. Drew's like, hey, I'm gonna show you where you belong in a cage. Like, like, yeah, you got out of jail and you should go right back in. Like, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
I am too.
And this is
I
only
am
going to
too.
add to Jacob Fatu's credibility as that dude, like that dog. Like that the brutality they finna bring is definitely finna take them and raise both their levels up. I mean, Drew's already up there. Drew's been, like
Yeah,
Drew's been the MVP really of this year and last year. I mean, think of
yeah,
all the matches he had with CM Punk, and then obviously, as much as we hated the rivalry between him and Cody going back and forth for the entirety of about 6 months, but I mean, I gotta give it to Drew. He is that guy.
yeah. No, he's one of the pettiest characters in the game right now. I mean, even to the point of setting fire to a Getty Images picture of he and Dusty, of Cody and Dusty,
Most
which,
basic picture we've seen like literally
yeah,
for decades.
I mean, it was like it is like a Getty Images, something that
Yeah,
they just downloaded from the internet, or
yeah, that's all you do. Just went to Walgreens or something, got that picture right up.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. You got your eyes on anything for outside of Randy and Cody, of course, for night one.
Well, I do. I'm I'm not fully invested, but I am interested in how the Rhea and Jade match is going to go because this is two polar opposite characters of each other, but they both are phenomenal. They look phenomenal. They are two of the powerhouses of WWE, and I'm very interested in where it goes from here. Like, what's the possibilities? Does Rhea win? Rhea takes that belt. Who's the next opponent? Um, and my eyes, my vision on what is potentially to happen from this match is Bianca Belair is coming back. That's one
Wouldn't
of
that
the
break my heart?
biggest surprise, obviously, not only just WrestleMania, but the night after WrestleMania always is a big pivotal moment in the year to start the new year off of wrestling for WWE. So with the winner of that match could Bianca come back and hey, I want my title back or this, that, and third, or because she has beef with both women. Let's just get it out there,
That she
right?
does. No, that she does.
Rhea has inserted her business in Bianca's business too many times. Obviously, that great triple threat match we watched last year at the same location. So there you go with that. That's already a storyline set in place with that. Fast forward, Bianca got beef with Jade. Jade lied to her. Jade attacked Naomi. Well, Naomi attacked Jade. So, and then Jade, basically took her anger and got her get back with Naomi. But there's still some unresolved energy between them two. They never really finished that. And now with Jade being a heel, it's completely different now. And she calling herself, I'm that BITCH. Then you turn around and Bianca's like, you might be the BITCH, but I'm that ish. I'm the ish of WWE. I'm the bestest, the fastest, the fat, all that. So that's a good storyline to go on.
I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. I think that um I've had my criticisms of Jade and her in-ring ability, but if she has the right dance partner, I mean, let's be real here. If she has the right dance partner, I think she could be money. I think she can be
Ask this
money,
about Jade.
and Rhea
Let me ask
Ripley
you
is
this.
one of the best in the game.
Do you think if Jade had like submission moves in her move set, would that kind of move the needle for you?
Maybe.
I mean, because she said it in a Joe Budden podcast. Matter of fact, Daniel Bryant actually was the one that showed her different submissions or whatever. But then like when she tried to do it, she said that people got kind of bored of it and just basically wanted to see her powerbomb folks and this, that, and third, which I understand. But at the same
Right.
time, you have to switch stuff up. You can't always be stagnant and do the same thing because that's what kind of I think that's what kills me about Raquel a little bit. And that's what kills me about Braun Strowman. Like you think about all these powerhouses, right? And obviously they're powerhouses for a reason. They're big for a reason. But when Braun Strowman did a drop kick, that shocked you, right? Because it's like you
Right.
don't expect that. So like I would rather you do stuff that's unexpected to catch my attention. But if you keep doing the same old stuff, that's how people get bored of you. So, put them in a dragon sleep hold or something and
Yeah.
make them tap. But just don't sit there and do power bomb, clothesline, drop kick, scissor kick, whatever the case.
And to be fair, and I totally get what you're saying, and I agree. I think that if there was some more moves in her arsenal that she could sell and look good, I think I'd probably kind of believe her a little bit more. But I think a lot of times, I know this was the old man's way of thinking, but he didn't want his big guys being like athletic, like showing their athleticism. Like when Andre the Giant was young, he was doing like missile drop kicks and stuff like that. I mean, he was
Yeah.
just crazy athletic. But you never saw that back in the glory days, back in the 80s. Well, granted, he was beat to hell at that time, but you never saw that. You also never saw, and I've sent that video of that match of, speaking of Hulk Hogan, of Hulk Hogan in Japan doing like enziguris and drop kicks and stuff like that, which you never would see, in the WWF. And I think I'm kind of with you. I think that if there was some variety to her moveset, that if there was some difference in her moveset, I think she'd be a lot more believable.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's turn our attention, and I don't want to do this, but let's turn our attention for a few minutes to this absolute mess that is Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes,
Oh,
and the celebrity involvement.
oh
I
boy.
don't want to spend a ton of time on this because, without turning this into Wrestling Roundtable After Dark, that whole storyline is kind of turning into a word that rhymes with bluster truck, if you feel me on that. Um, but you seem to like have a theory that this could be setting up something that we might not be expecting. And it's because they keep bringing out Pat McAfee, which Pat, sit back down at the commentary desk where you belong, my man.
Yeah. The reason why I got, I'm saying, like I said, I'm trying to bring positive energy. I'm trying to bring the energy that we need going into this WrestleMania. And one thing I distinctly picked up when we was doing this whole spit of like, I want the real Randy, I want the Viper, blah 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 blah. Yeah, cool. He pops up. Randy's on the phone. He's talking to, as he said, Pat McAfee or whatever. And then Randy was like, wrestling has more than one royal family, right? One of the biggest storylines of all time was Cody trying to finish his story against Roman.
Right.
As I distinctly remember, Roman is related to a distinct family line, bloodline, as a matter of fact, that is enriched in royal wrestling family like heritage, right? And as I said before in the last previous episodes, Pat McAfee is cool with a distinct person on the board of uh, TKO, right?
And we're not talking about Nick Khan here.
And no, we're not. No, absolutely not. God, I hope we don't. But yes, one particular guy, a very big superstar, I may say, movie star. Like this guy's doing it all, right? He's the royalest of royals in my eye. I mean,
Mhm.
he's the biggest Hall of Fame of all time. He's one of the pillars of the Attitude Era. Uh, if you want ticket sales to really jump up and like really you want to sell out that mug, you find a way to get him involved. I mean, actually, not find a way to get him involved. He finds a way to get there and be there to be involved, and that's The Rock. The Rock is cool with Pat. He's popped up on College Game Day a couple times, talked with Pat. He's been on Pat's show. He's associated with WWE as one of the greats of all time, The Rock.
Mhm.
So
And don't forget he sits on the board too.
he sits on the board. Yes. If you're going to do, which God, I hope not, but if you're going to do a quote unquote team TKO versus team whatever, WWE, Triple H, whatever you want to do, he has to be involved. Now you have a dynamic, like you have a rivalry of power because Triple H is COO, The Rock is basically on the board. You basically have a Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon kind of. I mean, obviously they're not related or whatever, but you have so much enriched history in that rivalry because obviously The Rock and Triple H don't like each other from their days when they were talent. I mean, we're kayfabe here, but they don't like each
Of
other from
course.
their days of you know, being talent in WWE. And then like I just this whole Jelly Roll and Pat, I just I don't like it. Like I really wish you just use. actual talent. But obviously, we're going down that road, and Backlash is right around the corner, and all these posts and rumors and stuff, and I can't do a John Cena storyline again. I just can't because they did it so horribly the first time.
Let's not go there. Let's not. I feel your crash out coming. Let's not go there if we can.
Ryan, me and you was just like we was so hyped about this. Like you wait 20 something years, you pull the trigger on John being healed. This man has kids crying, right? I mean, we were literally dissecting it, calling it like on the same verge of Star Wars with the Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader thing, and like just for it to crash and burn the way it did, and then it like obviously John's retirement run, he had some highs and lows. So after he finally became babyface again, his high was a high. But then obviously we got that the low of the lowest with that match with him and Gunther. But I'm not going to go back to that. We moved on from that. We've healed from that. So yeah, I don't like how they're doing the same stitch with Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the same. 'Cause I mean, like Randy has always been a heel in the eyes. I mean, like yeah, you walk around being Randy, the dad, but bro, we know your track record, so it's not that hard to imagine you just snapping and going back heel, which he did. So, but the whole Pat McAfee involvement, it don't resonate with me. It won't, even without the Rock. So it's either gonna be the Rock or it's gonna be Cody turning heel. That's the only two options.
yeah, yeah. That's the only two that. It's the only two that make sense. It's the only two that make sense. And also considering that Cody came in and quote destroyed Pat McAfee's set,
I thought I was watching him at a Rage Room.
right?
I was like, what? And then what?
I mean, of course, he was wearing one of his silk windbreakers, and probably slacks, and
Yeah,
$1,000 shoes.
it would have been more believable to me if he showed up while Pat was doing his podcast and then destroyed. That would have been more believable. But me, it feels like Pat just gave him a key to the to put it to the location. Hey man, just do what you want to do. We thinking
Right.
about you know, relocate. I mean, not
Yeah.
relocating, but fixing it up anyway, changing the set look. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope I hope they know what they're doing with this. That's all I'm gonna
I,
say. That's all
that
I'm gonna
that's all I've
finish
been
with.
saying.
I just
That's
hope
all.
I just hope they know what they're doing with this.
Yeah. Like that's how we've been saying at the beginning of the year. Like we was just like this whole year, just make it make sense. Make something make sense. And this is the total opposite of what we was talking about.
Yeah. It don't make a lick of sense.
It don't. Like I wish it was Ric Flair. I wish it was something that connected them two. It could have been hell, it could have been Brandy. All I can give it to her. It could have been
Right.
Randy's wife. I don't care. It like long as somebody like that makes sense. I can't believe his wife's trying to talk to him being the old 10, old 09 Randy Orton. But like, and then the fact that Stephanie had to come out and slap the dog taste out of Cody just to like, hey, look, if you can't be on the same level as Randy, you have no chance in HW hockey sticks. But at the same time, it's like, did it KO you? Like, what? Why did you? Why? I mean,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
because
Don't. Yeah.
you basically trying to tell him like, hey, look what he did to me. You got to think like him, or you're done. And then okay, and that okay. I'm not gonna crash out too hard, but I found something out that
Uh,
didn't make sense. If Stephanie is doing that,
I'm
right?
I'm clocking you, by the way. Yeah.
And Stephanie's doing that, right? Trying to tell Cody you need to do this, whatever, whatever. What does Pat McAfee being added to the thing make any kind of sense? It's one on one. This is Cody versus Randy. Randy is sadistic, blah 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 blah. So why would he need Pat McAfee to help him if he's already that sadistic? He's that evil. He's that you know. Why does that even make any sense?
Guess what? It don't,
It don't.
and we can't make it make
Make it
sense.
make. And that was my respectful crash out.
All right, all right. Well, one match that neither one of us were crashing out about. Let's touch briefly on our guy Obafemi against Brock Lesnar.
Is that even possible? Just that cheap.
That is leading off night two. We got to talk about Obafemi's promo from Monday night.
Okay. All right.
That guy, it took a little while to get warmed up,
You did.
but that promo was money. I mean, they ought to give that guy some more stick time. He he's still green. Let's not get it twisted here. He's still very green.
He is. And I mean, really, to be honest, is it even possible for us to just touch base on this match? Because it's like one of the biggest matches going into WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Like
the
this,
best build in my opinion.
the bet the we've touched this. They never talked until like the final 2 to 3 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and every single night we're looking forward to them like coming to blows because you never know what's going to happen. Obafemi threw six grown men like they were children. We already knew what Brock could do, but Obafemi, you even said it. That man is going to need extra pay because the way he landed on the ground after Obi threw him like one of those little the balls that he used to throw at
Like a
Alabama.
shot put, yeah.
Like that was insane, bro.
It was.
So I just cannot wait till these two lock horns. And like in order to save both of them, right? Oba can't lose. Like he cannot lose clean. This would kill his momentum. Like
Yeah.
utterly destroy it. Oba has to win, or Brock has to win by DQ. And I'm thinking, they fight, blah blah blah. It gets crazy. They start destroying stuff outside of the ring. They get both counted out, or Oba just snaps, right? Because he's the young rookie, quote unquote rookie, going
Right.
against the old grizzly beast. So, being a young rookie, this is pretty much your championship match. So you're trying to do everything possible to impress people. So you're gonna be like trying to match blows with Brock, and the ref gonna be like, "Hey, hey, chill out, chill out, chill out," and then Obafemi, I mean, he basically do what he did to Adam Pearce and push the roof, and the ref gets, "Hey, you can't do that," and he basically disqualified him. That's the only two options I can see that make sense.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely see if they have Oba lose somehow, it can't be clean.
Mm.
And I've already said that he just literally loses his mind. He just loses his mind, goes after everybody, goes after Brock, goes after Paul, goes after the ref in the match, you know, um, puts all the security guards through tables. I mean, just absolutely loses his mind until he gets his rematch at SummerSlam for Brock Lesnar's retirement match. But that's going to end up being Gunther, and that's another story for another time.
Oh man, that's gonna be. You know what? I can't even fathom or wait till we get on that because we've been pushing that from last year.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
they would have did it
absolutely.
right while we wanted it to be right, but it's still the opportunity to fix it. Just if they
Absolutely.
gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have much hope on that, or much faith, rather. All right. I think one more thing I want to touch on for night two. Is there any other matches that you're kind of looking forward to, or we
Oh, my
just
boy
thinking
Trick,
more main? I'm
lemon,
sorry?
lemon, lemon pepper
All right, all
snapper.
right. Yeah. Trick
You
and
know what I mean?
Sammy, let's go. Yeah.
Fan, of course. I'm excited to see the demon, but
Of
the one I'm
course.
looking forward to besides the championship match is definitely Trick going over on Sammy and that crowd just exploding.
No disrespect to Sammy, but Trick Williams is it like I mean I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. Trick Williams is like the second coming of Dusty Rhodes and Booker T. Like he's just got it. Like he's got every bit of it.
Mhm. And and also to put some respect on my boy Carmelo Hayes. Like that rivalry between him and Trick is going to make money. They had a rivalry back in NXT that I had the fortunate opportunity to watch,
A hell of
and
a rivalry.
it was a hell of a rivalry, and it puts me in the mind of like you know those type of old school rivalries between two young up and coming guys that are fighting for the top. Who wants to be that? Well, for Carmelo Hayes is his catchphrase him, so they want to be that guy. So
Totally. And
yeah,
yeah. And I think before we wrap up here, who do you think goes over in the main event? I think it's got to be Roman.
I mean, oh, excuse me, not Randy, my bad.
Second,
Roman.
yeah,
Yeah, I want Roman to go. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like some shenanigans going to happen, but like the only right choice is Roman Reigns.
No, it's not going to be clean.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Especially with Pat talking about, Randy gonna take the title and then Roman gonna bring it home. I'm just like, oh God, come on now.
Just
Don't
make it stop. Just make it stop.
stop night one. Do not get involved with that match in night two. Matter of fact, you know what made me scared, Ryan?
What?
Is when CM Punk turned his attention to Pat. I was like, oh no, 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 God, no. Don't bring Pat up in Monday night. And he was like, hey, Pat. I was like, oh, God, no. Like that's already signs of Pat getting involved with that match. And look here. And I'm gonna keep preaching it. I even bought the
Yeah.
rocks just to
Yeah.
hopefully manifest this. If the Rock don't get involved in both nights, or even just one night, then this whole WrestleMania is terrible. But you go on his head.
Well, yep. Yep. I believe it. I believe it. I yeah, I definitely believe it. But as of now, I'm cautiously optimistic. I feel like I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to have a great next episode and talking about a great show this weekend.
Me too. Me
Yep.
too.
And we will see you next weekend for the
Yep.
WrestleMania recap episode. And until then, you can always follow us on the on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on the social media machine at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or stay tuned next week. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see you. And Dom, this WrestleMania week, brother. Can't wait for this.
Yes. I, I can't look. I know one or two things. We're gonna have a great show next week where we're excited and everything went according to plan and stuff was amazing. Or we're gonna have one of the most epic crash outs we have this year on
Yeah,
this show.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Next episode's not going to be rated PG.
No, no, no. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let a couple of words fly. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you and me both. But that's next week. For
Yeah.
Dom, I'm Ryan. You've been listening and watching the Wrestling Roundtable until we eat again. Take care. So long for now. And don't let Danhausen curse you.